expectation is when you set priorities for yourself, you set goals for yourself, hoping that you're going to make success in the goals that you set for yourself. And that expectation, when you fulfill the expectation, it creates a lot of resentment, it creates a lot of disappointment among your colleagues, partners, families. And that is exactly how it turned out for Arsenal Football Club, United. But for Chelsea, it's a different ball game because somehow they were able to achieve their set goal. The set goal was to qualify for the Champions League, and somehow they crowned it. They had a cherry on the cake, winning the Conference League. So congratulations to Mickey. Mickey,
Yeah.
it's good to have you back again.
Thank you. Chelsea will never lose.
Okay, for Danny, our expectation, when United wanted to change the trajectory of their growth by getting a new coach, having given Eric Ten Hag a new contract, and somehow at the middle of the season they said, look, we're giving the boots, hoping that young Amorim from Sporting Lisbon was going to give them a lifeline, and somehow I'm just like so Amorim, with all his Arsenal, gave United the worst performance in the history of the English Premier League. So, welcome once again. What's your take about that?
If you can remember when before Amorim came at the start of the season, I told you like there will be no Champions League football for us. I said that.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, Danny was spot on. Okay, for Arsenal, having lost the Premier League the first time, second time to Man City, and when the season started, we saw that Man City were not firing all cylinders, and everyone expected that Arsenal was just going to take it to the cleaners by nicking the trophy, at least, if not winning any other thing, but winning the Premier League. Like always, the Cronkies were at it again, they flopped their lines, they never addressed the key cognitive challenge that the club was facing, getting a renowned striker. Having lost Gabriel Jesus, and again, Kai Havertz, they had to resort to a midfielder that was trying to find his feet in the thing, and the person of Mikel Merino, and they lost that game. This time around, they lost to Liverpool by a wider margin. And so, here we're going to be looking at what transpired between these three big clubs in the English Premier League. I want to start first of all with Mickey. Mickey, Enzo Maresca started by kicking out players, notable players like Chalobah, kicking out Sterling and the likes of them. Somehow, towards the middle of the season, he had to call Chalobah back. What do you think was the changing pattern in Chelsea that gave them the opportunity to nick Champions League spots in the Premier League?
For Chelsea, I think a lot of things, a lot of components. One, the main component, I think we are lucky. We are lucky so much to be there. Because it was not just our performance that got us to the top four. It was also the inconsistency of the team side of us that they gifted us that top four. And then being consistent, we started shots. Because we are flip-flopping. We are really flip-flopping. I think the confidence and belief begins to happen. Was it Crystal Palace or Liverpool? Against Liverpool. Liverpool, of course, they are champions by then, and they are in the best form. Defeating Liverpool, was it 3-2? I think that's where the confidence started building up, and we went all throughout finishing. I think that's where we built up. But to be honest, it was not really our performance. I mean, if I assess it, it's not really our performance. We're not consistent. We're not even that banking the goals. We conceive more.
So when you say it's not really a performance, are you trying to say that Enzo Maresca did not do much in order to build this Chelsea team to the position where they are now?
If it is about the team, Maresca was to win. Imagine at the start of the season we talk about the squad, the large number, the amount of players he has to deal with in and out. And we see at no point where we see break or relationship dealing with players in Maresca. There was no point where you see that break. Players coming out or fights or so. I think the dressing room was disciplined. But in as much as it was disciplined, on the pitch, there are so many blunders. You see, even our keeper, Sanchez, was contributing to goals.
Okay,
He was
let
assisting.
me hold you there. That brings us now to Danny. Danny, United, I'm one of those that believe that United have got a formidable team. I always say that the key, this United team, that are able to compete for the Premier League. That's my belief, because I see leaders all around the pitch. But one of the things that I felt was missing is that the dressing room is not United. Even though they come to the pitch as United, but they are in disarray in dressing room. Why did I say this? Looking at what transpired between Eric Ten Hag and Maguire, and the other players in the team like Sancho, and all of a sudden when Amorim came in, they added Rashford to it. I believe that something would have been done, because we spoke about it some time ago. We said, look, if Amorim wants to get it right, we need to win the dressing room first and let them understand that, look, we're starting on the clean sheet, and ask them to select a leader. I think one of the challenges that they have is that the dressing room is not in unity. So what's your take?
Like I said before, if Amorim had actually addressed the issue, which is not just based on the dressing room, but also with the management as well, he might have been able to do better this season. And he mentioned something which I agree with him to some extent. He said, if we are willing to take a risk at this point, we won't be in the same position when the season comes to an end. Taking risks, like, even though like you have not been playing his own system of football, he said we need to take a risk. The positioning of the players on the pitch is very poor. For instance, I can give you an example. When you take a look at Inter Milan, the way they move, how the wing back move, you will see like the keeper will play the ball to Thuram. Thuram will just bounce it back for the midfielder, and then they will play to Dumfries. Dumfries will run, take the cross, and then next thing you see a goal. But with us, it's a whole different game. We want to possess the ball. And our wing back are not efficient enough. You see this new boy that came in, he made a lot of blunders. Even though he had like the pace to come back and recover some of the balls, he made a lot of blunders. His name is Dobia. Yeah, and then with Dalot, he was terrible. Okay,
but don't you think that is the coach's challenge? Because we came into a club, we saw how this team started playing very well under Van Nistelrooy when Eric Ten Hag was asked, and everyone was like, "Where is this mentality? Where did you guys keep this mentality from the outset? And you guys weren't playing this way?" And they were playing well, and they started winning. Now, Amorim came in with a philosophy of 3-5-2 formation, which is somehow alien to a team that is already trying to gel to a particular pattern. One would have expected that you would have consolidated that, because we know that you came in here for a rescue mission. Rather than introducing a different, pattern, tactics, don't you think that is where Amorim got it wrong?
Okay, I can agree with you to some extent in one case, because if he had tried to salvage the situation, like, let me compromise a little some of my principles so that we can play and then finish the season in better position with this system that the team is used to. Yes, that is good. On the other hand, and if you take for instance, like that has been our game, Manchester. Every single time when the new coach comes in, you see like the team will start performing. Down the line, the energy will start draining, and then you see like a very poor performance. It's not just about playing. I told you, like last season, like, I don't look at playing 4-5 games. I need consistency. If you can play with the same energy, same mindset, same body language for the next 5, 10, 15 games with the same pace, it shows some level of commitment, and it shows that there has been a change. But if you play 5 games with this body language and then things start going back to where they were, so I don't think like nothing has changed. It's just like camouflage. For me, if you ask me personally, I can sell up to like 8 players from this particular squad. Wow. And then I'll bring in a whole new players. I said it before. I told you when the season started, I said if I'm in the shoes of Cody, I'll just sell 8 players and then bring in your team. And then I'll use the whole season to build that team.
This guy is carrying out a surgical operation.
Yeah.
So while you are thinking about, we're going to come to that, because we've also seen that the season ended beautifully well because we saw when Chelsea they realized that they are already in the Champions League, they celebrated that like they won a trophy. And now the celebration police did not capture the way you guys were ecstatic. The entire pitch was electric with celebration, like you won a trophy. But thank God you guys ended up winning the conference league because the celebration police would have come after you guys. Now, talking about asking some players, going forward is a new season that we're going forward, and kudos to Enzo Maresca. He's been able to nick the signature of Dilap, one of the youngest strikers in the Premier League that came from Ipswich, and he showed a lot of promises. Going forward, do you think your team needs such surgical operation like Danny said?
Yes, first, I think.
And if you need a surgical operation, where are you going to start operating from?
Of course, we need to boost the squad because this is the youngest squad in the Premier League. An average age of 24 years, 30 days. So even achieving the top 4, it was a very big. Like I told you, one of the biggest achievements or wins for the club. It's not really about the performance on the pitch. It's within really the friendship, the family. Maresca has been able to build within the club. You don't see some of these agreements coming out. I know there might be each, one or two each, but you don't see the disagreement coming out. And with this squad, there are a lot of blunders. Like our goalkeeping, of course, it has to be strengthened. That won't be here. Of course, our attack has to be strengthened.
You have 8 goalkeepers.
Well, yes, it has to be strengthened. Most of them are unknown. We have to make a decision on which keeper will want to stay in the club that will keep up to the standard that will save us. I don't buy the idea of us going out to scout another goalkeeper or buy another goalkeeper. And secondly, also, we have to also strengthen our striking force. Of course, Jackson, it's not that all bad, but Jackson is not doing the job. He's not doing the job. The job is not about you passing defenders running to space or this. A lot of people can do that. You got wingers also that can do that. All what Palmer wants you is Jackson, are you there? All what Enzo wants is Jackson, are you there? Yes. Our midfield also. Of course, Caicedo we see a lot of performance. 38 of 38. That's very much exhausting. We cannot continue to exhaust Caicedo.
But you have Lavia.
Of course, Lavia is injury prone, so we have to strengthen it also. We cannot just say Lavia.
We got an injury prone player. They keep buying players. They already have like 42 players.
Yes, of course.
What do you need more players to do?
Yeah, we
you have that Fofana is an attacker. So why not? You have Andre Santos.
Why not sell?
You have this other boy, Estevio. And then you're still going after wingers.
Yes, we got to sell players because now we are going to a new level. Like I told you, we are going to a new level with a very young squad. So squad depth is very much important.
Well, with the players
you should have thought about that before you started giving players 9 seasons, 7 seasons.
I'm telling you.
Now, if we are buying young players, it has already been done. We buy
Fofana,
6, 7, 8
Chaloba,
players. So we need to have a very good squad depth.
Other
than that,
it appears this football confused.
Other than that, we go to confidence.
Okay, since you guys are seeing your confused,
you are confused.
You have so much.
And you are going for Boykin Gitsins from this Borussia Dortmund.
Another
winger, what are you doing with him?
So
we need a lot of players because these are very young, inexperienced
Chelsea guys.
The competition
like they say in local language, money they fit them.
That's exactly.
Yes, let's just leave them on their confused stage. They are being badged by their money.
Only squad depth will help us.
So
squad depth to do what? 42 players. What type of squad depth do you need?
We need squad depth.
So Danny, we'll come to you now. United, we talked about asking 8 players. If you have to ask these 8 players, who are the players you intend to ask? If you are Amman.
Firstly, I think Al Hilal, they are doing us a lot of favor by putting 100 million for Bruno Fernandes at each start.
200 million.
200 million. I would gladly sell him. And then I will sell Maguire. Do you know why? Because we have 2 camps. And these 2 camps are being controlled by Maguire and Bruno. So if I need to break that bond, I'll sell 2 of them. Whether they like it or not, I don't care. They will go. And I won't bother to sell Garnacho because I think he's really young. He's just confused. and
We're
this
buying
other
him,
boy,
we're buying him.
Sancho will go, Rashford will go. Onana, I'll take him by the balls. He'll go. He doesn't know what he's doing. He still play like a kid who is just 19. He make a lot of blunders. He doesn't concentrate. He plays a lot.
And he argues a lot with his
Yes.
players too.
And I will gladly sell Casemiro. He needs to go. He needs to go. Luke Shaw needs to go. We don't need Luke Shaw. If you see the goal that he scored against us for Tottenham, it was actually his fault.
You cannot blame
He
him.
no, he has been doing that.
It was not there.
There was one time
It was
he did
the
like
managers.
yes.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility as a defender to always follow up when balls like that drops into your defender. But he wasn't there. So the guy just like it was if he had been there, it could have been just like a simple clearance.
Okay, now, when you look at the situation now, that United is not in any Euro competition, it's a big challenge for you to ask 8 players
Yeah.
and you need to replace them. But the only luck that United has so far is that you have some key players in the Premier League. I think maybe it's out of passion or salary, people like Cunha and Brian Bermo saying we are coming to United. So how do you think that a United team that is not in Europe and the fund is not there, and they had an opportunity of just grabbing £200 million from Al Hilal for Bruno Fernandes and use the money and better things. So how do you think they can, remedy this? Because what you said is in line with my thought from the outset. But once you are able to remove these players you mentioned, it means that you've been able to arrest your dressing room. It means that you are in control. You've taken the Bruno Fernandes camp, Maguire's Casemiro camp, and you just remove them. And now everybody knows that they are standing on picture. Yeah. So how do you intend to claim? Because now we already see that Ratcliffe is not doing the right thing. Because what he's been dealing with is the backroom staff.
That's why they are removing
almost 450 players. Staff you've sacked, and you've rendered people that have dependents jobless.
Yeah, the guy is very.
So how do you intend to solve this?
Okay, let's say give or take, I'm able to like sell all those players. I can definitely get good players. I'm not going for high-profile players. I'm going. There are some players they need like let's say 2 or 3 months to actually fit into the team. I'll go for Ederson. I'll go for this other keeper at Torino, that Milinkovic-Savic. He'll gladly come to Manchester.
I will understand that you guys are looking at Martinez.
Yeah. And Martinez too, he has left Aston Villa. I'll go for him gladly. I will release Onana, I will release that first goalkeeper. What's his name? I don't know his name. Is that Turkish? I'll gladly sell to him. Then I'll look for an experienced striker that I'm going to pay good money just to bring him. If I can't get Bucharest, I'll get this guy
Osimhen. Are you guys willing to pay Osimhen the kind of money he's looking out for? Because
that's the sacrifice we have to make.
With Osimhen is the pay packet.
No, that's the sacrifice we have to make. At this point, we don't need a young striker. If we are going to like move from where we are to a better position, we need to make few sacrifices. And there is only a handful set of few players that are going to complain if we decide to pay Osimhen huge salary, because everybody knows what he's capable of doing. And that's the problem we have. We started paying players who have never made a name for themselves just because of the market price was so high.
But do you think that Osimhen, no, let's come to you now. Do you think that Osimhen or Gyökeres will want to come to a team that playing in the team that were in Champions League, and all of a sudden, because it's United, you want to come and play for one entire season? You are not in Europe, you are not in. Do you think these players will be willing to?
Yeah, there's a compromise.
Yes, that I think that what I was saying here. I think that was the lifeline for United, the Europa Finals. But they missed out. And missing out or not winning it has to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Now, getting out players is difficult already.
Exactly.
Because teams, look at Sancho, what happened to Sancho? Chelsea wanted to keep him because of the cause we had with United. But he said no. Why would I come and stay here for 150 or 180 or 200. If I go back to United, I'm getting 300,000 a week. So personally, who don't want 300,000?
So the penalty for not signing
Yeah,
him
so
£5 million, you guys.
He gave him his 5 million and he went back because he knows when the season starts, he's going to get every week. He's going to, so it's a burden already on United to see how they have to negotiate with him or whether send him out, give him all of his clauses. So missing out on the Champions League is also going to be a burden to get top players. Top player like Osimhen will not want to come to United.
Exactly.
Sit on the bench.
Exactly.
That's how big
So
United
how do
is.
you
Now,
intend? Because the only
That's a challenge.
panacea for United this season is that if you guys are willing to take, it means that the journey is still going to be long for you to get back to winning ways. It means that you should be ready to build through the trajectory of long term in the next 2 seasons. That's what it will take
No,
to
we can
build.
still use the season. We just need to make hard choices. Just like I said. Casemiro, we were not in the Champions League. But we offered him something that
Like Casemiro has won everything.
no, in another point,
yes,
it's an opportunity for United to build. Not going to Europe. It's an
Yes, I
opportunity.
agree. When he's talking about Casemiro had won everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was supposed to be a season of him coming to rest. Let me just rest without playing too many games.
Okay, let's say I don't get Bucharest, I don't get Osimhen. I can still go in for Vlahovic. Everybody knows what he's capable of.
Those are still guys that are.
No, but Juventus are willing to release him.
That's the point. But we really go to a team that is not in Europe.
It all depends on who is competing for a signature.
Anyways, you never can adapt to United. You guys did it when you were not in Europe. You were able to sign some key players, like spending the money. You know, that's why we said that you guys have been bombed. And United decided to cut costs. That's
But
the
with
difference.
United and Chelsea, the point here is, what's the project?
Good.
What's the project? Chelsea, our owners came in, their project is they want young players, young lads. They want to rebuild them over a period of time. It's not a
And that's
purpose.
why they were giving them 9 years contract,
Our
10 years
The
contract.
whole project is stand a chance of succeeding or failing. Winning trophies now is not really
The major
the major issue.
priority.
It's about building these players to be market value. Wherein maybe over 5 or 10 years, you can able push out maybe Kulban for 200 million, or this 300 million, or 150, 80, 70 million. So that's it. So United, I don't know their own project. What is their own project?
But that's how
So it
you guys
depends how
have
you
been.
build.
That's how you guys have been able to make a lot of bad choices.
Exactly.
Black defenders that
Exactly.
you got. How can you buy the Sassi, buy the
Banashi.
Fofana,
Banashi.
Bangladeshi? Those guys are like waste of money.
So you see, when they came in now the average age of Chelsea is 24 years.
Yeah,
But not that,
So
that's-
what I'm
that's
saying,
but
it's
this-
not really
these
this.
guys in nation, they don't even have resellable value.
Yeah,
When you look at Badashile,
Bangladeshi, yeah.
Bisasi, these are
That's why I
not
say the project can kick back. It can backfire to us. But
okay.
at least we know that this is the project they're working on. So United, I don't know what's their own project, because it's not just about you getting players or what. What's their own project?
Okay, the key
That's how
question
they
here
do it.
now is what is United project? What do they want to achieve? And we all know that United, this project has been floundering for a very long time, even after Ferguson left. United have been looking at the opportunity of going back to the normal winning ways. Yes, through the process, they've been able to win some Europa Trophy, win FA Cup, and all that. But the key thing is that they've not been consistent in the way they're going. Now, the 2025-2026 season will soon start rolling over. But the good thing about the two club side is that United are getting players, key players in the Premier League that top club sides are looking out for that they want. But these boys say, look, it is United or never. Now, Cunha is settled from Wolves. The other is Brian Bentley. The $1 million question is Brentford willing to let him go? Because from what we understand from Grapevine, Brentford will be looking out for about 65 million to 70 million pounds. Is United ready to pay that amount plus the 250 million, thousand weekly pay packets?
We already offered. We already made our official
That's the first B.
contract.
So
It's 45 million plus 10 million.
So let's hope that at the end of the day they are going to get it. Now the question is, what is United looking at achieving in the forthcoming season? For Chelsea, you guys already prioritize what you want. Now you got the Champions League. now is to go there and make an impact and possibly win it. And because this time around, you guys will be competing for the Premier League.
Title.
There's no longer story of we are not in the title race.
Competing.
Yes, you guys will be competing.
This is the objective.
Chelsea can't compete for the Premier League without I can bet my life. They are not going to finish in the first three position. With that squad.
Listen, last season, signing Maresca, the objective was finishing in top 4.
Right.
Even before Maresca, that was also the target for Pochettino. Pochettino failed on that project. Maresca, even without him winning the conference, one, he succeeded in his expectation by qualifying, not just fifth, but fourth. Our qualification was not merely because Maresca was really consistent or the team was really strong. I told you, I said it's more of luck and inconsistency from the teams that are above us. Talk about Aston Villa. They were top, they were player favorites for how long? They were Messi, Nottingham Forest. They were all there. Even Newcastle. Inform Newcastle. All of them. I don't know what's happened. They all start.
So Mother Luck smiled on you guys.
So look, it was fortunate for us. So even Maresca, I don't think we have to go back in the room and just celebrate.
So what is your target for the forthcoming season?
The forthcoming season, we are going to compete for the Premier League. We are going to compete for titles. Of course, we have to compete.
Everybody is competing.
No,
even Sunderland that is coming up from relegation, they are competing too for the Premier League.
We are not going there this season to say our objective is top 4. We are going for titles this season. So
Titles?
Premier League. Yes.
Man, you can't win titles.
No, you cannot say so.
Okay, let's
forget about the conference league. You can't win titles with that squad. The mentality of your coach, your squad that you have.
No, I disagree.
How are you going to sign Ipswich attacker and expect to win Premier League with that squad?
I disagree. How can you say we cannot?
Okay, you are not a better squad than Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City.
We are not a better squad.
Pleasantly in the
Yes, we are not a better
you
squad
can't
than them. We are not a better squad than
so you still depending on luck.
No, it's not all about luck. You can
That's
win.
what you're depending on now.
You can win. United were not a better squad 2 seasons back. They won the FA Cup.
No, FA Cup is different from Premier League. You said Premier League. I told you can't compete.
We can compete. If I are even second, one has
okay, calm down. So
I don't
what is
United
United ambition for the forthcoming season?
I think for us, forget competing for Premier League because we are unidentifiable when it comes to how we play because the players are yet to accept this coach Amorim new system of play, and so we're still looking at a stability like a grace period where we need to stabilize things. Maybe probably fight for European position, which I think will definitely finish.
Wow.
Yes.
I like that.
And also, we have chances of actually winning the FA Cup and the Premier League. Why? Because now the Champions League is very exhausting. If you take, for instance, like Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, and then Man City, how they will be playing in the Champions League, coming to the Premier League, playing FA Cup, playing the Carling Cup. We are out of European position. We will just be competing for those 3 places. So if we are focused enough, we stand a chance of reaching one of those titles, not the Premier League.
Because let me conclude. Let me use this opportunity also. We can compete. This season also is an evidence that we can compete. Before December, we are second on the team. That was the point. And even the pundits were all coming out with the pressure on Chelsea, asking the coach, don't you think you can compete for this title and what? And the coach was honest.
It's not in the title.
No, we are not in the title race. Then we see how bad it is. Yeah? Of course, it's sad, but it was realistic.
The guy was honest.
It was honest. It was
No,
sad,
I don't call it being honest. Sometimes,
you can say it.
Yeah, it's good to be
understand.
The guy didn't want to bring that brother though into play.
No, it's not about like bringing too much pressure on himself. If you understand, when he made that statement like, we are not competing for Premier League, what happened to Chelsea? It seems like they fall off the wagon. Eventually, they started losing games. The composure, the confidence level from the players just dropped. So you can do that.
It affected the outcome after that. But Boston is so close, even so inexperienced squad. A new manager coming in as a start, and we are half of the season. We are all second on the table.
Okay,
That's a sign that we can compete for the Premier League.
okay.
And secondly, As I told you, we are also, you say you are still going out for players. We need it. If we are not going out for players, Chelsea will not have qualified for the top four.
No, you guys.
We should have not qualified for the top
No,
four.
you
I can give you evidence.
You guys
of
are
it.
confused when it comes to
Yeah,
that.
I can give you evidence of it. I can give you evidence of it.
Okay.
So there are so
Let
many
me tell you
reasons
something.
why-
For him to make a statement like that, if I'm the owner of that club, I'll sack him.
We're not sacking him.
Okay.
He's done much.
You,
It's exceeded expectation. Nobody thought we would do.
yes.
Yeah.
The season ended beautifully well for Chelsea, and Chelsea ended up winning a trophy and getting Champions League qualification. For United, just like Arsenal, they threw off their lines and they went trophyless. And now the 2025-2026 season will soon start. And Gary here says, look, we are confident that we're going to be building through the process. And there's any possibility that we're going to nick the trophy. Possibly we looked at the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Premier League. But for me, I believe the Premier League is a tall order for United to start dreaming about winning.
No, it's
But there's not, you never say never, because there's a possibility in what you have your mind set at. But now for Chelsea, Mickey says they are going all out to win the Premier League and any other trophy while they are still building. Considering the fact that they have so many players on loan and they are still buying more. So it appears as if they are confused. So this is an opportunity for you, Chelsea fans, to come to the comment section, make your comments count, let us know your views. For United, let us know what your views are about your team. Because these are two great teams, but somehow we're going through 6 and 7s. So we are hopefully, we hope that Enzo Maresca and Ruben Amorim will be able to get their ass right. So it is been another edition of Offside. I just want to get one last meeting from Nikki to the fans and your expectation for the forthcoming season.
Well, Chelsea, let's be hopeful. Of course, we never expected the outcome we got. Even though this was a set goal and objective, especially qualifying for the Champions League, and Maresca delivered. So let's have faith in Maresca. He has a very big squad. We've seen how much he's been able to rally around these young players, how much he has been able to unite them. I feel going forward, our unity will get us results, will get us trophies. Believe it.
Okay, you've heard it. Let's rally around Enzo Maresca. And for Daniel, what's your message to your United fans and your expectation finally to them?
My message to every United fan here is that this season is going to be a little bit hopeful and not hopeful because we might be playing better this season, considering the pressure that tomorrow will be on. But nonetheless, I'm still hoping for a good season, maybe a Champions League football or maybe a European football for the subsequent season coming. But nonetheless, I just hope we can start playing better football this time and not the joke that we put on this past season.
Yes, you've heard it. It's all about positivity and expectation. We hope this time around the expectation is not going to fluff down the drain just the way Arsenal have been suffering. And for me, my expectation, our expectation here is that you join us to continue to build a larger community together. We cannot do anything possible without your support. So don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe to the channel. Until then, it is keep it tight.